This is a TSWN special movie review presentation.
Hey, everybody. It's Friendly Neighborhood Super Negro here, Anthony Sterling, with another movie review. And like last time, the last one we did, the United States versus Billie Holiday, I needed some friends to help me with this film here. So, you know who I had to call. I had to get my strong sisters to join me because the movie we're going to do today definitely needed, I needed a team. I could not do this one on my own. So without further ado, let me introduce the crew. Y'all know me already. I didn't introduce myself, but my best friend, as always, my ace, the one who is always there when I need her. Well, you know, when she want to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Melissa Marie Newell has joined us. Hi, Melissa.
Hey.
And y'all seen Welcome to Devon County. If you haven't, shame on you. So if you want to watch it, I will put the link. It'll pop up somewhere up here. Y'all know this one. She is thugging and never hugging. Ladies and gentlemen, ain't two things she ain't never seen.
Say it.
Is a turtle with speed and a nigga she needs.
Facts. Facts. All facts.
The one, the only, the most dangerous, the most beautiful, the most amazing, just like Melissa. All Karens must beware. All Kevins. Y'all best watch
What cookout?
No cookouts. No cookout invitation will be coming from Miss Ashley effing Bro. She is back in the building. She is back on the YouTubes.
The tubes.
And like I said, I needed, it started off, I was going to do it on my own. Then I told Melissa, and she's like, oh, I want to get in this. I want to be involved. We're going to talk about it because I got some things to say. And I said, okay, all right.
And I'm ready.
And I brought it up to Ashley. I said, Ashley, join us because this movie here, it needed a roundtable discussion. And that movie, if you automatically seen it on the title when I send you the link, or if you join us on YouTube, we are going to do the 2021 film Judas and the Black Messiah, starring the one and only Mr. Daniel Kaluuya, LaKeith Stanfield, I think it's Jesse, but it's spelled like Jess Plemons, but I'm gonna say Jesse Plemons, so I'm gonna butcher your name, bro. You know, I don't care. And the beautiful and amazing Miss Dominique Fishback. This movie, if you don't know, you will know, centers around the one Bill O'Neill, who is played by LaKeith Stanfield, as he infiltrates the Black Panther Party per FBI agent Mitchell and J. Edgar Hoover. Boo. As party, exactly. As party chairman Fred Hampton ascends, falling for a fellow revolutionary en route, and a battle wages for O'Neill's soul. So, I guess we're gonna just hit the ground running. I'm gonna start with the first question is, did you enjoy this film? Let's go there first. So let's start with Ashley. Ashley, you saw it. You're the last person to see it out of all of us. Did you enjoy the film?
Enjoy is not the word, but I definitely appreciate it and think it was a great film.
Okay.
But enjoy, no, it pained me to watch. And I was cussing every 5 minutes at this bitch ass rat ass. You know, but I guess that's the feelings that I'm supposed to invoke, obviously. But enjoy was hard to watch. And especially because LaKeith is like, I have like a little, you know, your crush on him. And so it's hard for me to see him as this rat, you know, trash person.
It's
so
hard to see
it
the
was
ones
already,
we enjoy.
double,
yeah.
Right. Because LaKeith is right there with Kravitz. Don't think I forgot. Melissa.
Captain Torso.
Oh, fine torso. But anyway. But LaKeith is up there for me, an actor and not just I like his appeal, but also his acting ability, and I love the roles he picks. And so I like the movie, but it was hard for me to watch. But I think that's only right.
Yeah. All right, Melissa.
Rephrase
my question. Just rephrase my question if you must.
No, actually, I'm gonna piggyback off of Ashley. It's hard to say you enjoy films like this, but I do appreciate, from a filmmaker's point of view, the direction was good, the acting was superb. But back to enjoying it is because it's difficult to enjoy because one, it's historical, and two, because you look at it through a lens of what if people who have the power and who started to impact real change in our communities had been allowed to survive and thrive without the white supremacist system taking them down, and even more heartbreaking, using one of our motherfucking own to do it, which is always the case. And if you want to talk about Jesus, look at that. Well, tied with the name Judas. Like why? Like why? That is and I'm gonna say I understand to a point, and I'm gonna be empathetic to, because we all know what happens to Bill Neal in the end. I believe I'm going to have as much empathy as I can have for him, because it talks about the systemic things, starting with the legacy of slavery that it's done to our communities. He emulated the FBI man because he saw him as having the American dream, the things that he wanted, and things of that nature. So I look at it, man, there's nothing you could give me. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, just like you got that before. You know what? A little bit of lore. A vampire cannot enter your home without you inviting him in. That's all I'm going to say. But it's hurtful because it's like, I know I wouldn't, there's no amount of money that would help me to sell my people out. But for him, being in the situation he came up in, there was a price for him. And unfortunately, he paid it in the end too dearly.
Yeah.
And I love that that's how they opened it, with him showing that he robs from his own people. He deceives his own people to get a joyride in a car that he likes. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that they showed that, because I wasn't really too familiar with him per se. I just knew the Fred Hampton story, but I didn't know the details that led up to his death, his assassination. And so when they showed him robbing from his own people, Bill O'Neill, I was just, you already, they put you in that frame of mind of, oh, he doesn't really give a damn, so I was more, when they opened with that already set the tone for me. Like, okay, he's to be hated.
And I guess I'll piggyback on the piggyback. I say enjoy, and I'm not trying to backtrack on my enjoy thing. Like with movies, I'm either gonna love it or hate it. And enjoy for me is saying love. And I love this movie for the fact, or enjoyed the movie for the fact that although I knew of the story of Hampton and O'Neill, I didn't know how deep it truly got. And how much I'm gonna call it what it is, how much hatred Fred received from that piece of, that POS J. Edgar Hoover, the whole thing of, we have to eliminate the Black Messiah. And to also notice that, I know this may not be the best, but Fred was at a point to me where it shows in the movie, he could have even trumped, not the best words, but
it's okay.
He could have outdone Malcolm, Martin, Medgar, Huey. Like I think he took the best of all of those icons, those heroes, those human beings, mind you, his brothers or his elders. And he actually used and fortified and garnered the troops in order to fight the actual oppressor. Now, with the beginning of the movie where you say him robbing, his own, which, proximity crime. There's no such thing as black on black crime. There's proximity.
Right.
We will always jack someone closest to us because it's easier. It's the beginning, the true beginning of the movie that got me, where when I sat down and I looked and I kind of went, okay, that's LaKeith. Okay, he's Bill O'Neill. And then I saw the slate. Eyes on the Prize, part 2. Take one. I said, Lord, nah, it makes sense. I remember Eyes on the Prize. If you don't know what Eyes on the Prize is, 1, Google it. 2, I'll give you a short one. It was a special documentary series that was done on PBS that would always air on either two options: King's birthday,
Martin Luther King Day,
or Black History Month.
Right.
And if you don't know, or both. If you don't know Eyes on the Prize, y'all, I'm telling you, this was some of the best history document. This was a really great history documentary series, because from the
it should have been shown in schools.
It was. Well,
it should have continued. I guess I mean.
Well, let me put it like this: I went to an all-black Catholic school, so we had to watch it. And what made me love it was the intro song, from the day we were the fight was the day we started fight. And I'm sitting there like going, keep your eyes on the prize, So seeing that, and then it all started to come back, because I remember they never called him Bill. It was William O'Neill, Black Panther Party, and then they had a slash on it. But we had old school TV that kind of messed up the picture, so I couldn't see the whole title. And just I was with the Chicago branch of the Black Panther Party, and I was like, yeah, okay. But what's his significance? Because when you watch the movie, it actually shows exactly what he kept out of that Eyes on the Prize interview. Because when the interviewer starts asking him about, so the night Fred died, he would kind of, I wasn't there, blah, blah, blah. Like he would kind of pull himself out of it. Like he would kind of, he would go in a Trumpian stance and change the story. And it would constantly keep doing that. So when they finally cut it, they were just like, okay, we use this, and his ending. But when you get into the movie, and I think Melissa was the one to tell me, he was a kid. Like, I really didn't know how old Bill was. Bill was 17 when he got busted, and he met up with Agent Mitchell. Yeah, he was a teenager.
Wow.
And
young, impressionable, ready to be exploited.
Scared.
Right. Scared of jail.
Scared of jail. Because the cats that he robbed, that was one of the biggest community groups. Well, before they became gangs, they were community.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, because all gangs had a history.
I'm saying correct.
Right. They were community protectors. That's what I like to call them. The Crowns. I think it was the Crowns.
Yeah.
So they were going to jail. They were in jail. So what could have happened to Bill once word got back. Like, yo, that's the one that robbed so-and-so at at the spot. They'd have got revenge on him. Might have whoop on him. I don't think hopefully they wouldn't have killed him, but they'd have whoop on him,
in a rock and hard place.
Right. So he was stuck. So there's nothing you can do. And I know we like to say, well, if it was me, I'll be honest, if it was me, call me Tweety Bird, because I'm singing.
No, I don't think that, nah.
I felt for him, and that's the one thing I really enjoyed about LaKeith. He made you feel for Bill as much as you hate what he did. He made you feel for Bill. I know Ashley. I know Ashley's ready to thug and say, "Fuck that rat." But I felt for him at first, mind you. At first, I felt for him because I was like, "Damn, man, you are stuck." And if it's one thing these white folks love to do, is when they got a Negro stuck, when they got a brother or sister stuck, it's on now. I got you where I need you. And not regular white folks, not them. White folks in positions of power, mostly authoritative power. Police, the feds, the government. Once
They
they
can
have
wreck your life.
exactly.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
they got you, it's game. You're gonna work for me for life. Because even when he was telling them, "Yo, man, I did my part. I'm finished. I'm out." Oh no, you're not out until I say you're out. Because you impersonated an officer. That's a 20-year bid there, Bill. And I'm like, damn.
See, I had empathy for him even in the end, because like I said, even if I don't agree with it, I understand how he made the choices he made in his life. And that's all I'm saying. I have empathy for that. I don't like what he did. I'll always condemn what he did.
Right.
But I understand. No, screw that. I overstand how he came to do what he did.
Right. Because I mean, if he can steal from his own, I don't think he would have a problem, trying to save himself and say, okay, well, if I do this, I get out of jail. And he was getting money as well. They were paying him. So
he was a paid informant, right?
He was a paid informant. So it kind of worked. It worked in his favor, but the favor he was getting was also destroying. And in all honesty, it snuffed out a light. A very bright, warm, loving, guiding light. Because this is what, 68, 69. So we've already had the the uprising at the Democratic National Convention. I think that's around that time. Huey is in jail. King is about to get killed, or has died, because I think around when Fred passed, King had already died.
68,
he's 68. So King is either about to die or died, and then Bobby Kennedy is supposed to go, or Bobby Kennedy is next. Malcolm's gone. Medgar Evers
the Democratic convention.
So it's one of those situations where it's a hurtful situation, and I'm like y'all. I'm appreciative that Shaka King, who was co-writer but also directed the film, put this out here. This movie needed to be made. It needed to be out there, because Fred Hampton, you'll hear him in a couple of definitely Public Enemy songs, or Paris, the rapper Paris from back in the days, or X-Clan. You'll hear his name, but the fact that his story is constant, it's very convoluted when they talk about it, especially his execution, which, yes, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't die. He was executed. He was murdered. I don't give a damn what y'all say. He was murdered. That's all there is to it,
Right.
So with that being said, I want to talk about the actors. But then we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to some other things. We're gonna go back to what we said we started with. But Daniel Kaluuya, and I call him Kaluuya. It is Kaluuya. Kaluuya. It's not the drink, guys. Not the lady, but that brother. It's so, because I was watching the movie and I'm like, he's going to break his accent. The Brit is going to come out. Never did. Because it happened to him in Get Out. It happened a couple of times in Get Out, where his British accent kind of overpowered because he was trying to say a phrase and it just boom. But I really loved his portrayal of Hampton. I loved it, of Chairman Fred.
Now, where is Fred Hampton originally from? Is it North Carolina, or?
I think so. I think Fred was born in North Carolina. Well, I think he's a Southern boy that moved to the Midwest.
Right.
Because I first thought he was from Milwaukee. I was wrong, big time. But I think, like they say, he's a Southern boy.
And I'm saying North Carolina because that's the toughest accent for me. And at some point, I couldn't understand what he was saying at all. And I was like, he's doing damn good at this North Carolina accent, because that's my toughest accent to pick up on when I hear people from North Carolina talk, because it's a rolling slur. No disrespect, but in my head, it all slurs together with no pause, and he did that perfectly.
Right.
In certain points of the movie.
Y'all ready for me? Brother ain't even from the South. I was wrong.
Where he's from?
Summit, Illinois. So he isn't. He
was okay.
Brother. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I guess but
Chairman
the
Phil.
accent was still on point, whatever it was.
It was strong. It was very strong. And watching some of the little pieces of how they shot and his interviews, he was saying how he had to go to a voice acting coach because Fred had a very booming, strong, deep voice. And when he projected, when Daniel was trying to project, his voice would crack. So he had to go, and he said, man, I'm gonna destroy my voice before this movie is over. So he had to go and take vocal lessons and learn how to speak, because Fred spoke, like they say, from the diaphragm, from the pit, from the gut, and it just boomed out there. And he got a chance to speak with his son and really tried to understand who Fred was. And I thought he captured it. You know, I know there was beef about, oh, these Brits are taking our jobs. Could have had a Black American play it because it's a Black American story. And to that, I'm like,
another.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, sure, you are right. But the brother did it. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. He really did a wonderful job in the role. And if you're that mad, blame Ryan Coogler, because it was Coogler who told Daniel Kaluuya, yeah, to go and audition for this movie. Ryan Coogler did that. A Black American. That's all I'm gonna say. Blame him. So I thought he was awesome. LaKeith Stanfield, look, Black weirdo, but I love him. Well, I'm somewhat of a Black weirdo. He is of my kin. Man, the scene for me, and I'm sorry, y'all, I don't want to take too much of it because I want y'all to jump in. Please jump in and stop me. But the scene where they were talking about getting the snitch on the steps.
Yeah.
And Bill was like,
the snitch talking about the snitch.
The snitch talking about, man, if it was me,
yeah.
Man, I'd fuck him up, I'd have killed him.
I'd have killed him, beat him.
I'd have lit his ass on fire. And I'm just sitting there going, well, you know, you just talk, you really put your own torture on display.
Right.
And I wish someone sharper had been there, because they'd been like, wait a minute, you protesting way too damn much, bro. What's up with this? You know?
Yeah. But he played that nervous energy very well.
Yeah.
Even when the dude had caught him, like realized that was him when they were meeting with the Crowns.
Yeah.
And that guy was just like, and he played nervousness so well. His physicality of nervousness was the main thing that struck out to me with his acting. Was like he just played that nervous, twitchy thing so well. And even to the point where it's like, y'all don't see this shit this dude is doing?
Right.
Like he's not a settled person, you know, like
exactly.
Like he's twitching and messing with stuff. And because LaKeith plays brooding very well. That's probably why I have a little crush on him, because he always looks sad and I just want to make him happy. And so he plays brooding very well. And so I think it was perfect casting for that to me. Yeah. Because of how he played that nervousness and that unsure kind of thing. And he did, I guess you could pick up on the youth of him being a teenager or a young adult in that, just being unsure and just making stuff up as you go along, just fit in type of thing. So I think that was perfect casting for me with that character, even though I was sad that I hated him throughout the whole movie.
Right. But, you know, but that's good acting.
I'll watch something else and love him again.
Yeah. That's what great acting is. Though, you know, the actors are just actors that you love, and they typecast them. They're like, oh, I love them. And then they play out of type.
Right.
And you're like, I can't stand. Perfect case in point.
Right.
Danny Glover. We all love Danny Glover.
No, we don't.
Nobody liked Danny Glover as Mr.
We didn't
Johnson.
like Mr.
We didn't like Mr. But that the thing that you're feeling for LaKeith Stanfield was the same thing a lot of Black moviegoers felt about Danny Glover. But
Lawrence Fishburne.
You couldn't pull them apart because they were so great in the role.
Did it so well.
You kind of like.
Right. They love to hate him.
Right, because I remember Danny Glover was talking about it you remember they had the Color Purple reunion on Oprah.
And, yeah.
And Danny Glover was like, yeah, it was not good walking the streets, and black women were coming up to me, and some black men like, we hate your guts. And he's like,
Right.
but I'm Danny
It's a
Glover.
character.
Yeah, I didn't hit. I seriously did not hit Whoopi. Mr. Whoop on Sealy. That's all I did.
Right.
So
Right.
that's just one of the things of great acting. When you are a great actor, you can pull the emotions out of anybody who's watching you. Whether you're my favorite actor and I play a villain, I hated your guts, then my job is complete.
And I heard that he had to kind of reset, which I'm sure a lot of actors do when they play despicable roles. Yeah, he struggled throughout the whole thing trying to play this character because it was so bad, over someone so revered that you were the reason for their demise.
Right.
I heard he struggled, so that made me feel a little better.
And I mean, let's be honest, this is a biblical retelling, if you think about it, because
the metaphor.
Judas took himself out too.
Yeah.
Just although they still contemplating if he really did commit suicide, William O'Neill. But yeah,
there were 2 attempts. That was he
killed.
There were 2.
So
he killed himself by like what accident? Like he drove onto coming traffic?
He tried. I think he hung himself.
I know he ran into traffic once, escaped went out of a bathroom window. I forgot the uncle or someone he was living with, and he ran into traffic. But then he had like substance abuse issues. So either way it goes.
I thought he had. I hate to say it like that. I thought he had.
You can kill yourself in slow ways.
Right.
But I think
the second attempt was successful.
He did.
But even that type of suicide lends to who he was as a person. Like, as far as the accident, running into oncoming traffic, like you're not even, but
he couldn't live with it. He couldn't live with the sin. I would think, because I'm not in his head, but and the crazy thing is right after he filmed his interview for Eyes on the Prize, I think a few months later he had died.
After it aired, right?
After it aired. When it aired on King holiday, I think on King's birthday, or on in Black History Month. Yeah, he died. So
some lines you cross, you can't. There's no coming back home. I hate to say that. There's just
true.
no coming back home.
Mm-hmm.
At least not in this realm.
And I want to continue the glow up and the praise of the actors in this movie, because Dominique Fishback as Deborah Johnson, his love interest, yet his wife, I like to call her his foundation, even though he was, he knew where he was going. She was the one that really got him, like 100% focused, also the mother of his son, his only son, Fred Jr. I thought she was really good. I love the chemistry between her and Daniel. I thought they were really good. I wanted more, which I knew I wasn't going to get, because the story really is about Bill. Like, as much as I wanted to see more of the Fred Hampton story. And I wanted to see, honestly, I wanted to see Black love. No matter how tragically it would have ended, I wanted to see more about Black love. And the way she played Deborah, the way she really, how she pulled all the pain and anguish and strength when he went to jail the first time, and just watching her, like, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna be the mother and stuff. But she was a very strong character. She was very intelligent. She knew exactly how to because I know they met during a speech, when he was giving a speech, and she was just like, yeah, okay, that's nice to know, you're cool, bye. And then she shows up at the office like a day or two later, and they, she really got him going in the right direction. He was already going that way, but she really just said, all right, this is where you need to focus. You know, this is what's going to happen. Even to the point when she gave what I thought was one of the best parts of the movie, when she's like, I do not want to give this man up. When he was talking about, I would like to say his mountaintop speech. I may die before the revolution kicks off, but it's gonna kick off, and I'm willing to die for it. And it was the shot of her in the crowd when she heard him. I think she had Fred Jr. already, or
she clutched her stomach.
Yeah, like she just grabbed her.
Right,
her
everybody's
wound.
cheering, and she's like, "Hold on."
Yeah, you know, whoa,
you know,
wait, partner,
and
daddy, you know.
Right. And I love how they showed how she was tormented by that a little bit, because he was all in, and she was like, "So your perspective hasn't changed now that I'm you're about to have this son," and he laid it out.
Yeah.
No, you know, part of him died while he was in jail, not knowing, like he didn't know he had that to live for.
Right.
And so when he comes out, he realizes that he did, but he's still about the people.
Yeah.
You know. And that I found interesting, because that almost, it reminded me of Malcolm. Like, they weren't just about that in public, they were about that in their private lives as well.
Another good, powerful movement wasn't I hate when I saw in the review when they said the confrontation between the Panthers and the Crowns. No, that was a parlay.
Yeah, exactly.
Was a parlay. The
language they use for us.
Yeah, the first encounter was posturing. The Crowns had to be like, better get the fuck out of here. We feeding people, and I just
in their territory.
Fred was like,
feeding, employing them, and everything else.
Yeah, when Fred's like, but we y'all got a breakfast program, y'all got a hospital, y'all got this, y'all got
could
that.
Do more.
We could do more. So much more. And they're like, man, you better get the F out of here. Look, just tell your man I want to talk to him. And I was just like, damn. When you have no fear of your people.
Right.
You don't fear your brother man, and you can approach them. And I love the fact that when they was ready to pull their guns, and Fred's like, man, we ain't got no guns, but I'm gonna talk to you like a man first. So if you wanna get stupid and go pop, that's on you. But you're gonna hear a man speaking to you. 21, 22-year-old man who spoke like an elder. But when they had the meeting, which led to the, hey man, that's the one that robbed so-and-so.
Right.
But I love that encounter, because when the leader of the Crowns told him, hey, you think you're famous? You know, and
with the words.
Yeah, with the words.
right.
You with the words.
But it's funny how we as Black people always clown each other, but on the cool, we respect that. You know, you see that underlying respect he had.
Right.
And the fact that he didn't fall back. He didn't cower, you know. Fred didn't punk him, as they would say, you know. They spoke like men who were on a mission, but on two different avenues. It was the same path, but they were in two different lanes. But I love when Fred finally got him, like look, understand where I'm coming from. We ain't here to fight the Crowns. We here to build with the Crowns, and it don't have to be Black Panther Party, and it don't have to be the Crowns. It's got to be us, not two factions, one strong group. And when he told him, you got the juice now, and he gave him the gun, and he told him, I don't need it. You need it.
You're gonna
need it. You're gonna need
it.
You have just put yourself, because the Crowns, I think at the time, next to the I think it was the Black Disciples, they were the biggest groups in Chicago. And the fact that Fred said, we ain't warring with each other.
Right.
We gonna build with each other. You got two of the biggest, groups to understand where you going. Okay, yeah, you know what? We gonna follow you.
Because they were going to, they didn't pull it all together as Fred and the Black Panthers did.
Right.
But all their ends were to get to, all their means will get to the same end.
Yeah.
Is what they were.
Yeah, it was just
That's it. But you know what? I'm gonna jump way ahead. But you know what? Because Judas just didn't apply, because y'all remember the scene where he said FBI said they had infiltrators in all those places.
Yeah.
So and I'm gonna go with Ashley right here. I'm gonna go with Ashley. Kill their ass. Kill every single one of them. Let me tell you this.
True, yeah.
If I see someone right now pull out a gun and kill someone innocent, that's a good rat. I'm going to tell. Get your ass off the street. You're hurting women and children, killing someone.
Yeah.
But rats like that destroy movements meant to bring a group out of oppression and get them to equality and equity in this lifetime on this earth. And you fucking it up? I'll put a bullet in your head. I have no sympathy for you.
Yeah.
And
like I said, I had empathy for Bill, but not sympathy. That's a different thing.
You took yourself out of the civilian category. Civilians is off limits. That's street code. And you don't it's not snitching if you're just a mother with children
that's why
and you see a crime.
I wouldn't
but
call
once you
the
insert
first
yourself.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't call the first ones rat. Your first example, I wouldn't call them rats. You know.
No, that's civilian.
That's civilian.
No, that's what I said. I was agreeing with that.
You know, that's civilian stuff, you know, because
I'm talking about rats like them.
No, but once you are inside, you are no longer a civilian, regardless of what it is, whether it's a gang, legal, illegal, whatever. You are part of this community. Yeah. So anything outside of that, you deserve what you get.
Right.
Because you took yourself out of civilian role and you entered this. You know, so
since we are on that, since we are on that road,
well, let's wear my shirt that says that.
Okay, stop snitching.
Snitches.
Let's get into the dirt of the dirt, the muck and the mire of this film. Our good old federal government, the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
You know what? Let me tell you something before you go on. Even white people who do not agree, even though they are like all of us living under a patriarchal white supremacist society, that system's so motherfucking bad that even good white people succumb to it. See Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
See, just look at his arc of his character. Even when it came down to choosing being white and going with the system, and even protecting old boy, you saw who he chose.
Yep.
That's all I gotta say about that. So, Lord.
Let's give props to Jesse Plemons for playing Agent Roy Mitchell, who, as you said,
look at Ashley's face.
You know what he is? He is the willfully ignorant patriot.
Right.
Who is I won't say too easily, because he had it. I think his moral fiber was about one strand. He had one strand of moral fiber. And that moral fiber was this is how you would always get Bill. Well, you know, we infiltrated the Klan. We did that. We stopped a hate group, the Klan.
Yeah, she used Cheney, Schwerner, and Goodman as well.
Exactly.
He's a white liberal. He is the white liberal of the group.
Right.
Jesse Plemons' character was a white liberal. If I'm not calling you nigger, and I'm not
I'm gonna let you in my house.
Or overt acts of racism, then I cannot be racist. There is no system.
And not only that, I let
a black man in my house.
I let him drink the good scotch.
The good liquor. Yeah, the good liquor.
I didn't give you the Schlitz malt liquor there, boy. I let you drink the private stock.
You were allowed to dine with me in public.
And and then also, then his wife, he said didn't he lose to having dinner with the family or something? So the wife and the kid playing with the kids or something. I don't know what that.
Yeah, he welcomed them in, which gave Bill that false sense of I
security.
Made it. I'm a good Negro, and
that's that house nigga stuff.
Right, I'm gonna do what I have to do to save me. Let's just be honest here. Bill O'Neill didn't really give a damn about his community until he had moments he was forced to give a damn about the community.
Yeah.
Where it was like,
to keep up the charade.
But even so, I think even if he was kind of out of the charade, he had no choice now. You know, like it's all in or all out, because Judy was gonna shoot his ass. He knew in the back of his mind, Judy.
She had a hard one for him.
Oh yeah, I got a bullet with your name on it.
Oh,
baby.
Judy.
And
Judy.
And it was long enough to say William O'Neill. This one's yours. I know she could write his whole name and his epithet right on that bullet. She was ready.
Right.
But when we see, with Roy Mitchell, I love the scene, and man, props to Martin Sheen, who is still one of my all-time
I thought that's who that was. I wasn't
Martin
sure, but I was like,
as J. Edgar.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
using it, bitch ass Hoover. Oh, that scene where he took Mitchell and started questioning him the same way Mitchell questioned O'Neill.
That's what I'm saying about the system. He gave
Right.
into the system.
He had
at
to
that
test his
point.
gangster.
He had to
He had
test
to
him.
test his gangster.
Yeah. Are you
He gave
about
wholly
this?
into.
Are
He
you
gave
about
into
this
the whole
That
American
was the
system.
perfect question. That was the perfect question to ask him.
Yep.
When your daughter, not if,
When
your daughter
Mhm.
brings home when your daughter brings home a black male, like a dog or something, a male.
Mhm.
But when she brings home a black male, what will you do? And it's like that was a great writing and great restraint from the actors, because in my mind, I know he wants to say, I would never allow that or whatever, but he didn't say it. I'm not sure what his response. I think he changed the subject or just asked the question.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
tried.
he tried to change the subject.
And
Right.
once again, this is the original G-Man. You're not going to sway Hoover out of his
Oh, his resolve is
resolve
done.
is strong.
Yeah. All black
And
leaders
Hoover was
must
so
die.
fucked up in so many ways.
Mhm.
But you know what? That was a moment of truth for
devil.
Jesse Plemons' character, because
Yes.
I don't care, black, white, otherwise. You can spend 40 years of your life saying I'm X, Y, and Z. There's gonna come a moment in life for all of us.
Your
You
nuts
said
gonna
this is
get
who you
checked.
are. Guess what?
Let's
If
see
this
it.
is who you are,
Yep.
this is a test. Either you pass it and you are who you said you are, or you get confronted like Jesse did, and like, oh shit, I'm not as secure, and I'm not this person for race equality or whatever the bullshit he was feeding himself all those years.
Right.
He got called on it, and that's why he handed his whole ass to Hoover for the system.
He had no choice,
Survival at this point.
Now
And
know
don't-
where he put Bill, Hoover put him. Like, straight up.
Right.
Where he put Bill is where Hoover.
He was just the overseer.
Yep. Amen. Oh, there it is. Yep.
And when the master came calling, you best be on that horse.
Right. You responsible.
You better do
And don't
it.
get me wrong, there have been some white people throughout history who are about that life, who fought with us, from the abolitionists.
Yeah.
Who didn't talk about it, they war about it with their actions.
Right.
Lived and died right alongside of us. Didn't have slaves, didn't have a black servant, didn't have this, and say it's not fucking right. So I will always give white people
stated, right?
Exactly, but this is the point. White people like that, let me count them on my hand.
Shout out to
Too
John
many
Brown.
of them give. Exactly, too many of them give into the system.
Right.
But the ones who did and were about it,
because of the pressure. Yep.
Yeah.
You're the only one I'll raise that fist to. The rest of y'all fuck
right.
off.
Right.
So it once again, great acting. That hit those emotions. It just didn't. Basically, it just wrapped around your neck and your soul and did not let go, because just the way you saw Mitchell from the beginning, where he's just I'm a normal G-man, I'm doing America's work, I'm taking the crime off the street, which once again was really kind of crazy, because if I was Bill, if he had some common sense, what the fuck a Fed doing with a local crime? Why are you here?
But he was young
even
still though.
He was young. He was a kid. He
wasn't hip to them games yet.
Exactly.
He wasn't hip to them games.
Why is a federal agent here for a carjacking? What the? I'm impersonating the officer. Well, no, he wasn't. He wasn't impersonating a cop. He was impersonating a Fed.
Right.
And because
with
the
that
brothers
sorry
from the
ass
crime was
wallet and badge. I was just like, Lord Jesus, if this is true.
I just love when that brother at the food table. Man, what the
But you gotta look at the time, Ashley, the time period.
I know, I understand. And I was just like, I wonder how much creative license was taken with this. But what I loved about that is how that came back full circle in the end.
Yeah.
With the snitch of all snitches. I forgot the character's name. Who's the actor, the comedian that came? I think his name was Wayne in the
Lorel.
Yes.
Yeah.
He played the pimp.
Lorel Howard. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole day.
If he was even a pimp, I don't know. But he came back with that badge. He was
snitching. He was a snitch, a rat.
Oh yeah.
And I have to go to while we're speaking about the feds and the bad guys here. I really love the way they handled the Hoover and Mitchell and all of the FBI. I enjoyed the way they did it because it was so much better than how they did it in the Billie Holiday movie. If you didn't see the United States versus Billie Holiday, well, check out my review. It's gonna pop up in the link. The way old boy that played Henry J. Anslinger, it was very comical. It was very Keystone Cop-ish. It was a little too over the top. You know, he wasn't menacing. He was, you know, he was supposed to be menacing, but it was kind of like, okay, you're sitting there like you're constipated. All right, take some Pepto-Bismol, unblock yourself, you'll be fine, or drink some Metamucil. But the way Martin Sheen played Hoover, he was a rabid pit bull when it came to getting Hampton. You know, when it came to getting Chairman Fred, because like even at the beginning, which I thought was one of the best intros to a movie, when you see all these imagery, you see the imagery of Black life at that time, and then you hear Martin Sheen as J. Edgar Hoover and giving him the title of the Black Messiah, giving a 21-year-old man the title of leadership of all blackness, and he must be stopped. You know,
he said he was more dangerous than I forgot who
Klan.
he compared it to, but he compared it to even like foreign.
Oh, Khrushchev.
Yeah,
he was more dangerous than the Russians, and I think it was Khrushchev that was
Russians, and he said something else, right?
Yeah, and what got me is that Roy Mitchell deemed the Klan as a terrorist group. He did. But then when he comes back and say, well, the Black Panther Party is a terrorist group. They're one of the most dangerous, they are there with the Klan, which once again, when somebody tell me that the Klan had free breakfast programs, educational programs, hospitals, what else? When they actually cared about a community in the right way, if y'all can prove that to me, I'm still never gonna change my outlook to the motherfuckers in the white sheets. But I will probably say, oh, cool story, bro. They still trash. This was a group that actually tried to take care of their own, because the government and the policies that's supposed to give them their rights was not giving it to them. That's the Black Panthers. But all y'all saw was niggas with guns. Which is
they knew everything you're saying, but that's what white supremacist systems do.
Right.
You have to paint them.
They paint a picture.
Well, we have the Klan. Oh, but y'all are just as bad. The both sides bullshit. They're still doing that to this day.
There's no both sides to the coin. You're both sides of the coin. You're the coin.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not even.
We ain't nowhere up in that bitch. We ain't nowhere in that bitch.
All we trying to do is protect little Jamal and little Tanya from getting shot. From the people that our taxes are paying to protect us. We are trying to feed those who are being
would starve otherwise.
Yeah, and screwed over by government
capitalism, right?
You cannot have a Black people doing that. You cannot have Black people doing things for themselves, doing the right things for themselves. That destroys all your demonization. That just is like boom. And I'm gonna tell you something too. This is why Hoover said he was more dangerous than them, because guess what else? What did he have on his side? That man was 21. Can you imagine 40, 60 more years of that building up that kind of power?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? At this point, you got to cut the heads off.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Hoover perfected that. You got to cut the heads off, because without the head, there's no animal.
Guess what? Obama would have been the Black president we needed and wanted had Hampton been alive and been allowed to thrive. Had any of our leaders been allowed to thrive, he could have done what he wanted and needed to do. And that's no slam on Obama.
No.
But you're just as strong as your foundation.
But I feel like this is just another story of that. It's always taken from us. Every single time there's some sort of rise or some sort of movement, it gets taken, and that's unfortunately is the story. And so now, even in modern day, they're not so much killing them because of too much technology to track that. Now they're just demoralizing them.
I know Melissa know I say this when I tell people, I don't hate you, I tolerate you. And that's how I've always been, because
Right.
hate eats souls. Hate eats them. We know what hate does. Take a look at a lot of those senators who age like spoiled milk.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, we see what hate can do. I'm 47. Ooh, bitch, wait, I thought you was 89. I thought you had 9 toes in the grave with your pinky hanging on.
Right.
But I am a tolerable person, and I keep it that way. Now, the folks I love, yeah, dude, there's some white, some Asian, some Latino, a whole lot of black. But at a moment's notice, who's gonna fight for me when it's time? And that's the test. And that's what this movie was basically kind of pulling with Fred Hampton is who's really down to fight for this?
When it get down to the get down,
when it get down for the get down, you know, and
you
it's
saw who did it.
And it's like the brother told him from the crowns, you gonna need this gun because you have put yourself as a target. And I think there was some naivete in Fred where no. I am not a target. There's no target on me because I'm doing what's right. But what puts that's
the biggest target of all.
That's the biggest target.
Right.
Is when you do what's right. We're gonna end this because I want recommendations. So, Ashley, do you recommend Judas and the Black Messiah?
Yes, definitely.
Melissa, do you recommend Judas? Lord, I was saying Jewish. You had me
because I kept saying Jewish. I kept
referring Jewish and the Black Messiah.
Jewish people helped us, so that's why
I gotta stop because Jewish Messiah.
No, they know it. I wish somebody would come at you for that. I'm gonna hand them their ass too. But anyway, yes, I do recommend it. But you know, it's always heartbreaking, like I said, for me to watch movies like this because you always see had that potential been allowed, and notice what I'm saying, been allowed to live, to breathe. Because like you said, this was murder. And they're still doing it. Didn't they just have someone in North Carolina? They're murdering us people.
Right.
And for everybody watching this review and everything else, I shouldn't have to say this, but we're human beings. And for you so-called Christians, we are your fucking brothers and sisters. Act Christ-like. Get in them streets. I'm not going to say that ever again. Because guess what? You start treating me like I'm not human, I'm going to give it back to you in kind with no mercy and no quarter.
So with that being said, I highly recommend you see this movie. But along with watching this movie, I highly recommend you read about Chairman Fred Hampton. Read about, don't just sit there and just go on hearsay about the Black Panthers. Actually learn about the Black Panther Party for self-defense. Also, I will say this. If you do watch this movie and you get a little welled up, hold on to that. Hold on to that pain. Hold on to that feeling, because that's how we've been feeling for ages. As always, you know the drill, ladies and gentlemen. We still in a panorama. So make sure you wash your hands, you wash your feet, you wash your ass, wear a damn mask. Be safe, be kind. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Don't be jerks. No one loves a jerk. No one does. So, on behalf of the lovely best friend, Melissa Marie Newell, and Miss Ashley effing Bro, I am Anthony Sterling, your friendly neighborhood super Negro, and we'll see you next time.